boy, there's one thing I hate. It's doing windows on a car. Every time you get them done, there's streaks left. And then you go and you try and fix that streak, and that makes another streak, and then some grime gets pulled in from somewhere, and it seems like you're chasing your tail. Well, that's because you may not have the right solids, the right liquids, and the right technique. Start with your liquids, and those are your glass cleaners. This typical blue stuff that has ammonia in it is what we used to use. It isn't always the best, because ammonia, aside from being kind of gross to breathe, isn't really friendly to a lot of things in your car, like leather and rubber and such. So you don't use that. Get a true glass cleaner that is alcohol-based, and it doesn't have much alcohol in it, so don't drink it, and it won't hurt your car much. It dries very nicely, leaving a streak-free finish. The other liquid you want to have is going to be Rain-X. There's nothing quite like this stuff. It puts a polymer coat on your clean glass when you're done, so you barely have to use your wipers, and a lot of grime, and especially wet grime, kind of just runs right off. Now your solids, the things you're going to wipe it down with. The best way to go these days is with some microfiber towels, and I mean good ones. You can buy cheap ones, you can buy good ones. These ones are pretty good. I know because I've used them for a while, and they don't shed a lot. Other microfiber towels are cheap, and you end up with orange, yellow, and green dust all over your car, and you feel like you didn't get anything done. Another way to go is they do make paper towels that are expressly for glass and chrome, and they're very low lint and fiber. You can buy these at the auto parts store. Another trick, though, is just go buy the cheapest paper towels they sell that are almost 100% recycled. These are crappy towels, but they're great for glass because there's almost nothing in them to leave any lint and dust behind. Here's another trick. In case you happen to have a lot of these laying around, I don't know why you would, but coffee filters are also very good for wiping down. Again, they have a nice fiber to absorb a lot, and they don't leave dust and lint on the windshield. Okay, let's get to it. I want to get this glass clean and get out on the road. First thing you do is take your glass cleaner, and don't spray it on the glass. You spray it on what you would call the dirty rag. This is the one you're going to use to actually clean the glass and away from the car. Put a good amount on there. And then clean that windshield with a set of parallel strokes going one way, working their way down. So in this case, for example, I'm going to go horizontal, work my way down. I'm overlapping so I don't miss any grime. Pick that up. Then I take a dedicated clean rag, which I use to remove any final residue. And for that, I'm going to go the other way, parallel strokes, one sweep, so I don't carry any possible grime back. And I should have a really good looking clean. Easy way to test is to run a finger across there. If anything shows from your finger, that means there's residue that your finger is disturbing and you got to do it again. I'm getting absolutely no trace of anything there. Real nice. Okay, now that I feel like I've got a really good clean surface, the last thing I'm going to do, especially if you're in any kind of weather, is to put a coat of this Rain-X on there. I'm using a third towel for that. My green one, let's say, is my Rain-X towel. The way you use this stuff is you, again, only put it on clean glass. Moisten up a rag with some of that. This is a polymer that it leaves on there. Now, they say to use a circular motion, so I'll do what they say and cover the whole area. Try to make sure you don't miss any spots. And what you're doing is you're rubbing this stuff into the glass and then let it dry to a haze. And it's a very slight haze. This isn't like some body polish or something. You're barely going to notice it, but on a clean glass you will. And once that is dry, take the dry side of that rag or another rag and then go in there and polish off the residue. And what you've done is you put a nice polymer coat on there. It's kind of covering your glass. Note what none of these techniques can help. Like on the old Fiat here, we've got some pitted glass, especially on the front of the windshield. That's always going to bedevil you. Ah, look at that beautiful glass. Now, the old detailers used to use newspaper and I think just water to clean glass because it had a little bit of a fine grit in the paper. And I'm not sure what the ink did, but they swore by it. I don't think it's necessary today. And where are you going to find a newspaper anyway? And the other thing to know is that the inside of the front and rear glass, the windshield, and the backlight, as it's properly known, are the worst to clean because they sit over vinyl upholstery or leather that is off-gassing, in the case of vinyl, chemicals that rise right up and stick on the insides of that nasty film on a car that's like less than 5 years old. That is coming off the upholstery, and yeah, it's a real pain. Just stay at it.